Out of interest then, which do you think is your lowest mark in the whole test? After that little conversation that you just had?
Well, I didn't think that, so I agreed with the left shoulder in.
Yeah.
The walk pirouettes, I didn't feel they were as good as they should have been. Yeah, they're usually quite big and I haven't got them quite organised enough. That's definitely a high risk area, that extension into the collection into the shade centre line.
Yeah, for me it was just when you had that conversation, it's great because my lowest score in the whole test was actually on connected counterfire change nearly.
Yeah, so I have to write that a bit safe at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, right. I think that'd be a little bit nicer than you think yourself. Maybe I am. I'm going to see what everyone else has put down.
I thought she didn't get much away at all.
No. Okay. So what we're going to do, what we did with the first section was that when we're sort of it's trainees and notice judges, we can kind of discuss a bit more. By the time we get to this level, we really need to kind of pull together what Mark's got. So out of group one, we've got the 4. What kind of range do we have? We're going for the range between the 4. Don't go for the first movement. First movement, we've got 8, 7, 8, 8. So we've got a range from 7 to 8. I was on 8. I put straight and square, a little more prompt in the move on. So is that why you came to the 7? Oh, okay, yeah, so from the front, exactly. So if it's nodding in the head, so it's not in the self-coach coming out, exactly. And we were talking about this morning, is that when we're talking about what we can see where you are, and you're exactly right there. I can't see contact or self-carriage from behind, but if you can see it from front, you are not wrong at all ever in judging. I don't care what anybody says. If you've got a legitimate reason for why you've come to the mark, the only thing would be is that if you'd given 7 and you'd put, which I know you wouldn't do, but we do see it occasionally, where you put straight and square 7, and you go on the sheet and you just go, well, then what? Like you put the comment of the scale code. Exactly, and I saw that in some other parts of the test, so I can quite understand that that's probably could happen. Good, okay, next group, movement 2. Where have we gone on our range between the 3 of you for movement 2? 7, 7, 7. Okay. I still gave it an 8. I put good shape and more self-carriage. Is that what came you to the 7?
Yeah.
And a little on the forehand? Yeah. So a little bit more self-carriage, a little on the forehand. Maybe I'm a bit kind with the 8. I went to the 8. But yeah, more self-carriage and a little on the forehand. That's fine. Good. I just put good shape. I just wanted to really reward for the fact that it was in a good rhythm, it was a good shape, it was really accurately placed. But I could say it could have been a little bit more self-carried, a little bit more uphill. So I still gave the 8 for it, but I can quite understand where the 7 could come if you were looking like at the self-carried being here, a little bit on the shoulders. And it's a little bit, for me, where we have to be careful of using the reward and the deductions to actually reward for it. Like I say, I'm quite happy to sort of say maybe I was a bit over-rewarding the quality of the circle and the rhythm on the circle, and maybe we did need to have more likeness to the 4 and self-carriage. So, group 3, what did we go for number 3? The shoulder into the left. 6, 5, 6, 5, 7. I still gave a 7, but I did say dropping pull a little at the end and could have more self-carriage. So yeah, 6, 5, 7, fine where we are. Good. Like I said, don't feel like anybody gets it wrong with it. I mean, the only time we've ever got it wrong is if I've given something an 8 and you've given it a 4, and I've obviously missed something or somebody's got something. So being 0.5 or 1 mark difference is not a problem at all. Group 4, we've got movement 4. Half pass to the left. What's our range? 7, 7, 6, 5, 7. I gave 7. I put engagement, more engagement at the start. More engagement and more parallel at the start.
Yeah, I wanted a bit more balance.
To the 7. Yeah. But yeah, 6, 5, 7's fine as well. Movement 5, group 5, the medium trot. So you had it smack bang in front of you. So you can see probably a side profile, but you can see maybe the straightness. What's our range we've gone for? 7, 7. 7, 7, yeah, I gave 7 as well. I just said it could have had more ground cover, it could have been a little bit more clear in the transitions. Right, back to group 1 with the movement 6, the circle, 8 meters. What's our range we've got here? 6, 5, 7, 5, 7, 7. And we're at, so it's right in front of you. So where did I gave 7, 5, and what was the reason that you could see from? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just put more self-carriage. Yeah. The only thing I would say slightly is if you're looking at something from behind and it's something from the contact in front, it's a bit trickier to sort of see it. But you can see a little bit from the bend. But yeah. But I think I went 7.5. I really like the. I did put self-carriage. I thought it could be an 8, and I dropped it to 7.5 because of it. But if the deduction brings you a little bit lower, that's fine. Movement 8, half pass to the right. Oh, movement 7, sorry, yes. 6, 5. 7, 5. A 7 in the middle. So we've got between 6, 5, 7. I gave 7, 5. I thought it was correctly positioned, it just needed a little bit more self-carriage. Where for the 6, 5?
I just saw a slight loss of balance, a slight loss of
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're looking straight from behind, so yeah. Yeah, so if you want to make that deduction of 1 because of that, that's fine. That's where we've come into the deductions, deduct 1 off for seeing that, definitely. Good. Movement 8, half pass to the right. 6, 6, okay.
Quarters were leading.
Oh, okay, there we go. I still gave it a 7. I didn't see it from where I was.
You probably couldn't have.
I just put more sideways reach.
Yeah.
I gave a 7. Okay, yeah, no, that's the reason. You all saw it, so definitely was obvious from here. Good. Right, movement 9 for group 4, medium trot. 7. Yeah. Yeah, I gave 7, more ground cover and definition. The extended trot for group 5. Yeah. So where do we go? 7, then 8, 7, and 8. Yeah, so you obviously thought it was really straight. I mean, I gave 7 from where I was, but all you're judging is the straightness. So if it was very straight, you can still stay with the 8. Yeah. Group 1 again, we're on movement 11, the medium walk. What's our range of scoring? 7, 5, 8, 8, 8. I gave 8. It was a good rhythm. I didn't actually make a comment. Maybe 7, 5, a bit more self-carriage. Sort of is a trending sort of line there. Yep. That's all right. If we see and we just judge as it is, but yeah, 7, 5, 8, it's all right, good. Extended walk from group 2. Yeah, I was 7, 5 as well. I did just put more suppleness through the body. It was a good rhythm, I just wanted more suppleness in the body.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
7, 5 for the extended walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did we go on the pirouette then?
Sorry. Big. Yeah, I got carriage, black in carriage.
Yeah.
And that 6, 5.
Okay. We got 7. Okay, I was too nice. Jane, I was too nice in your pirouettes then. Obviously from being down there, I was too far away. That's my excuse. I still gave an 8. Yeah. But obviously...
The second one was better.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. From where I was, I gave both.
you've got
7,000.
I get it.
The first and the second one I gave a 7.5.
I know how good you can do them.
Okay,
There
Exactly.
were two quite different programs.
okay. I still gave an 8
I gave it 7.
for the first half pirouette. Yeah. The thing I really wanted to appreciate, and maybe I appreciated it too much, is this horse has an ability to go from a big walk to a small walk and do a pirouette. And I've obviously been too nice with that. But I do like the fact of how it can actually close and come round.
I think it links a little bit to the left circle and the left shoulder in, where you've got a little bit too much bend. It's the same for the pirouette, and then the pirouette got big on the left pirouette, a little bit from up here.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, everybody has to be. You've all got a better view than me. That's my excuse. Maybe I should have been down this end.
Maybe a little bit less bend.
Okay, everybody did. I was obviously far too far away. Oh, and you thought the first one was better than the second one. Okay. In what respect did you think it was better?
I thought the first one was neater.
Yeah. I think probably what we've done is we've looked at the steps and not looked at the bend. And we've over-appreciated the clarity of the collection, and maybe not looked at the bend, because obviously the people that were that side, it was smack bang in front, they can look at that. Yeah, and then this one here, right in front of you, yeah, like I said.
What did you give the extended for? Sorry,
I gave 7.5. Yeah.
I gave it.
Sorry, Richard, you can reflect on it when you watch the video later.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can go back to school as well.
I gave it an 8.5.
He gave the 8.5. The reason why we're on 7.5 over here was just the suppleness in the body.
Okay.
It's a good walk, but you want to see the whole body moving more through the body, more panther-like, really coming across. So, what did you give the second pirouette then over there?
I gave it a 7 still.
Yeah, you went. So we're a bit lower here. Yeah. Yeah, I gave it an 8 as well, but I really like the fact of it closing, but maybe I didn't appreciate the bender so much. Okay, let's go on to the collective walk. Movement 15, the collective walk. 8. Have we got any more takers on this group? 7.5. 7.5. Okay, that's all right. I gave 7.5 as well. I thought the rhythm was good, it just needed a bit more hiking and activity. I gave it 7.5 for the collective walk. It was clear in the rhythm, but it needed a bit more height and activity. The collective canter to the right. What did we do in group 1? 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8. I gave 7. I said it could have been more engaged and fluent. It went a little bit flat, like here, instead of being uphill, so I just went a little bit low. But I can understand where it was very on the aid, it was very obedient in it. It was just the frame really advanced medium level. We really wanted to be a bit more engaged and uphill to give a bit higher mark. Medium canter, 8. Okay, I gave a 7, I was a bit lower. And because for me, I don't know whether you could see it from here because you're on a straight line away, but when we came back, there was a nodding to the contact because it wasn't actually carrying the weight and carrying the self-carry, so we had some nodding, so I gave a 7. And then the straightness wasn't quite there as well from here. Yeah. No, definitely you'll have to pick up on that from your points as well. Yeah, very good. Okay, group 3, we've got the first flying change.
I went 7. There was some issue, and I didn't make a note of it. I thought it was a good, clean transition, but was there something with the pole or?
Yeah, I gave a 7. I just put could be straighter.
Right, okay.
But it was on the aid, it was clean, it just could have been straighter. The line that was at the beginning of the canter and the line through the change wasn't quite straight. Second flying change, group 4. 7, I was 7.
I gave 7.5.
Yeah, That's fine. I put self-carriage because the horse just went a bit like this with the nose in the change, but the change was clean. Yeah, definitely I get 7. The third change, we're on group 5. 7, 7, 5.
Undecided.
Okay. Yeah, I go 7, 5. I thought it was the better change out of the 3. I did think it lacked a little bit of suppleness, but I thought it was better out of the 3. Good. Okay. Movement 21 for group 1. So the serpentine equality of canter. 7, 8, 7, 5. I was on 7, 5. We did need more jump in the canter, a little bit more suppleness in the bend. So yeah, I stuck in the middle of you two, so they're not far away from that at all. Half pass to the left in the canter, group 2. Movement 22. Okay, yeah. 7, 5. That's all right. Don't worry, that's fine. I gave 7. I thought it could have been more submissive to the bend, so I gave 7. Flying change, group 3, movement 23. 7. A comment at all? Yeah, I did as well, actually.
Slightly, not could be a little bit straight.
A little bit straight as well. Yeah, I just put a little early and gave the 7. It's on the long side, so you want the rider's body with the marker when the flying change happens. And for me, it was as the nose was coming towards the marker, so it was a little early, but it was a clean change. Half pass to the right. 7, 5. 7, 7, 7. I went 7, 5. I thought it was clearly positioned. It just could have had a little more elasticity for a higher mark. Good. Flying change again. 7, 7, 7, 7. Again, yeah, I gave 7. I just said more straightness. It could be more through the shoulder. More through the shoulder to give more a little bit more expression. Back to group 1 with the extended canter. What's our range on that? 7, 8, 7, 5, 8. I gave 7. I just wanted more south carriage. I felt the horse stayed here instead of uphill south carriage. Good. Okay. Movement 27. 6, 5, 8, 7. Okay. I did go 6, 5, and only purely because of where I was, I could see it was far too early. The collection was a little bit progressive, and the flying change was far too early. For everybody that doesn't know, the flying change on the end of the diagonal has to be the last stride of the diagonal, so it can't be on the turn, and it can't be before the last stride. So for me, it was just a little bit kind of tentatively done to slight bit of collection and a change, instead of being boldly out of extended, taking the risk to come back and take the change. And that's where we were talking about reward earlier. You have to reward the rider that really does that. So if we really hadn't extended, came back to collected change, you have to go high to reward them for doing it. Jane made it a little bit safe. Pardon? Sorry? So you want to see collected at advanced medium level, you're looking at about sort of 3 or 4 strides. As the level goes up, you'd want to see that being a lot crisper. It's a little bit like as you say elementary, when we're talking elementary with the medium trot, so the transitions can be a little bit progressive. When you're at medium level, you've got extended to collected to change. You can have a few strides before you actually do it. If it's a Grand Prix, you would expect extended collect change. You couldn't have that progression, but there is a little bit of progression on that one. So we've got group 3 with the medium trot down the centre line. 7, 7. Yeah, I gave 7. And
Yeah, carriage, you could see it from the front.
Yeah.
Could have just been more up.
Good, yeah, I gave 7. I just put not quite the centre line at the start, and I just want to see more height behind. So you wanted the elasticity, the articulation of the joints to just get a bit more heightenized. So I gave 7. And group 4, what did you give for the halt?
I gave an
8? Oh, you gave up a movement 26? Oh no, we've missed the last bit. Okay. Okay, yeah. You gave 6.5 as well. Okay, interesting. I'm all the way down there. I gave it a 9. It looked very straight and it looked very square for me. But like we said before, it can happen. I remember 2 friends of mine judging in Russia. One was at the front, one was at the side. One gave a 9 for a centre line and a halt. The other one at the side gave a 5. And it was because the one at the side saw that the horse was resting a hind leg. The one in front couldn't see it. So if you see it, then you can. The only thing I'd say is probably the 6.5, if it's not quite square, is a little bit too much of a deduction away from it. Oh yeah. If it's the base long as well, so base long and not square, yeah, you can go 6.5 for that. Yeah, good. Okay. Collective. So what we're going paces from the group. Okay, 7, 5, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, I went 7, 5. I wanted a little bit more freedom in the extensions and a little bit more freedom in the mediums, a little bit more cadence, so I go 7, 5 for the paces. Group 1, where did we go with impulsion? 7, 5, 7, 5. Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I went 7. I didn't feel there was always the energy and the engagement on the hind leg, and I didn't feel there was always the elasticity of the steps in the collection. But yep, 7.5 is fine as well. Submission for group 2. 7. I didn't. That's it. I gave 7 as well. I just put that the horse could have more self-carriage at times. And what did we give for the... Don't suppose there is now.
I gave 8 for the right.
Okay, what did we give for the rider? 8. 7.5. 7.5. I went 8 for the rider. I thought she did a good job. What we have to remember through the test, as I was saying earlier, is you have to look down the test and correlate your test movement marks to what you have at the bottom. So when you've got some 8s in the bulk of the test, you really need to sort of find what at the bottom. For me, Jane, I just thought it was well ridden, talented pace. I thought you did a good job of riding the test. They are talented paces, but what I wanted to see was a little bit more energy, a little bit more engagement, development of elasticity, cadence, to give more self-carriage and fluency. And that's where I was. I don't know where you were from a coaching point of view.
Definitely, because I thought Jane really did, like, it was very set up really well, and